the life of a recruiting prospect.
Is complete to number 42. Touchdown for the Rams.
All right, let's jump in here. Let's talk about Grace. Nobody wants to talk about Grace, but I have to talk about Grace.
Yeah, I think that was an example of if you don't come out and execute every game, you're liable to get beat. And Grace is a good team. Like, they had athletes all over the field, and they're pretty good up front. And we didn't come with our best, and they came with their best. And you know, you can learn a lot from a loss. We come out in the second half and really execute and do what we're supposed to do. And I think we just kind of took a deep breath and relaxed.
Game up to get. Turn up to get down. Game up to get. Turn up to get down. Game up to get. Turn up to get down. Game up to get. Turn up to get down. You got to get up to get down. So game up and get down. Game up to get. Turn up to get down. Game up to get. Turn up to get down.
What's funny is now these guys that I'm throwing to in high school are the same guys I was throwing to when I was 6 years old. So we were throwing the ball like an air raid college team at 6 years old, and like I said, it just builds on to now.
Cut the music up.
2011, we had Madeline and Cooper's baby sister, Emmy, and she decided she wanted to cheer for the Sevierville Little League.
Emmy tried cheerleading for 2 years and got to cheer for her brother.
That was a fun time.
After those 2 years, she decided that cheerleading wasn't her thing. She grew up watching her older sister play, and she decided she wanted to play basketball and volleyball.
During Cooper's Little League days, we spent every Saturday at the football field. Not only was he playing, but his little sister was cheering. So we would spend most of all the days at whatever field that we were at. Those were great years. We were also happy whenever they won as many games as they did. Sevierville had a great run. We were also happy whenever they won as many games as they did. Sevierville had a great run of championships during the time that Cooper and his teammates were playing.
All right, listen up. Sevierville Bears, on behalf of English Mountain Football Conference, I'd like to congratulate you on being our Super Bowl champs and present you with the Super Bowl championship trophy.
It's kind of fun going back and talking about the good old days. But he passed for 5,400 yards in his Little League career, and that's something you just don't hear about, and it honestly sounds like I'm making it up. He had 103 touchdown passes and 12 interceptions. That's just unbelievable, and he's just, like I said, he's a natural.
Game up to get. Turn up to get down. Game up to get. Turn up to get down. Game up to get.
It's pretty cool looking back, one of my buddies, Diego, his dad, Casey, was our offensive coordinator, and he'd draw plays up, whether it's from Madden or any of that stuff. And you can go back now and still look at our little play call script that we had on those little wristbands, and everything's written out for us. And there's a play we ran every first play of every game. We called it 4 blast pass. And Casey will remember that play because we scored on that play just about every time we ran it.
Don't let me get in my zone. Don't let me get in my zone. Don't let me get in my zone.
Moving on to junior high, Cooper had a pretty successful Little League career. And I coached the 7th grade, so I went from being on the field to being, I've always been hard on Cooper. And you know, when you're coaching out on the field, I never just gave him attention. I gave everybody attention because that was my duty. So whenever they moved me, whenever I couldn't coach anymore and I got to sit up in the stands, I realized what I was missing throughout the years. I could finally enjoy just him playing football and not worrying about everything else. So looking back, I don't regret, coaching him through Little League. We made memories for a lifetime, but I missed out on a lot just from being down on the field and worrying about him and his teammates, which, I enjoyed every moment of it. But now up from the stands watching his junior high career, I really got to enjoy and just sit there and enjoy my son play football. After Cooper's 7th grade year, I don't believe they made it to the championship, but they got beat by Maryville. I kept up with the stats, and at the end of his 7th grade year, I think they were 6-2. They finished the season. He ended up with 1,798 yards passing with 22 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. At that point, 7th grade, you just don't normally hear about that as well, because I've always had people tell me, like, wait till he moves up. When we were in grass cutters, they said, wait till he gets to supers. He conquered that. Then they're like, well, wait to Pee-wees. They're going to be a lot bigger. He may not be able to pass as well. It'd be bigger competition. So every time Cooper moved up, he's met expectations. And I'm very proud of that. And the same thing going into 8th grade. They didn't pass the ball as much, but he had 1,300 yards passing in 8th grade. Our oldest daughter, after 8th grade, she decided she wanted to go to Gatlinburg-Pittman for, academics and plus also to play basketball there. And she had a stellar career. We were Gatlinburg big-time fans, even when I went to Sevier County High School. A lot of people didn't like that. But as Cooper was getting older, there was rumblings through the air everywhere we went as, where's he gonna play football? Where's he gonna go to school? And at the point, I told him the truth. I said, it's whatever makes my kid happy.
I knew that Cooper had a bond with the boys that he'd been playing with since he was 5, and I knew that they could be a force to be reckoned with.
It was his decision. I took him up to Gatlinburg, and we walked around. We talked to the coaches. We talked to Coach Todd, and I spoke with Penland. And I remember I asked Cooper, I said, where do you want to play at? And he said Sevier County, and we went to Sevier County and never looked back.
Yeah, I pretty much knew all along where I wanted to go to high school. I wanted to continue playing with my buddies. That's something that we just worked on being a little kid. You want to continue that tradition on playing with them. And I knew that there'd be a fair opportunity for me to get some playing time my freshman year, but obviously everything was earned. Had to go through and just go through a quarterback competition, which is where you were going to see anywhere you went to high school. But seeing the stands fill up on a Friday night at Launcey Birchfield Stadium is something every kid dreams of playing for.
Okay, let's go to Sevier County, home of the Smoky Bears, and there's the leader, number 7 at QB, Cooper Newman. Cooper Newman decides to fake it to Evera, and he keeps it, and he somehow scoops his way in for a touchdown. Sevier County Smoky Bears.
Cooper Newman fakes the handoff, looking, has got a man in single coverage. That is going to be a touchdown.
And I have to give a shout out to a guy that I met about 7 years ago. I went to a Sevier County game and there was nowhere to sit. And this guy was sitting there and there was a seat empty next to him. And I asked him, could I sit there? And I would have never guessed that he's a family friend now. His name is Marlon. He goes to every game, Cooper, around 3:30? He's there at 3:30 every game day and sits there. And he said that he leaves after the third quarter and then he listens to the fourth quarter on the radio time he gets home. So Marlon, we appreciate you, man.